Hey, it's Dr. Nuesse, and in today's video, I am going to answer drug testing related questions from Reddit. Do edibles stay in your system longer than smoking? So the answer to this question is potentially yes. Edibles can stay in your system for a bit longer. When you smoke, the smoke goes directly to your lungs and that is absorbed directly into your bloodstream. So you feel the sensation, the high, very, very quickly. Whereas edibles must be digested and then processed in the liver to a more potent compound. So it takes a little bit longer for this process to happen. The compound that is made in the liver from the edible THC is a little more potent. It takes a little bit longer to break down. So there can be a little bit of a lag as far as it being metabolized and excreted in the urine. So edibles can stay in your system for a little bit longer. But the main factor still is going to be how potent the marijuana you're using is, as far as how long it's going to stay in your system. And a big factor, and again, I've done a number of videos on this subject specifically, is how much body fat that you are carrying. Why do you get fooled? Meaning, why do we, the collectors or the labs, get fooled with synthetic urine so easily? And I don't know how easily we actually get fooled, but certainly we can get fooled. As the collector, when you give us your urine sample, when you go into the bathroom, produce your sample, and then hand us back the cup, we're really only looking for a few things. We're looking at the sample to make sure that it actually looks like a urine sample. But again, that is very subjective. There's darker samples, there's lighter samples, but that's what we're doing. We're looking at the sample, making sure it kind of looks like a urine sample. And then the other thing that we're doing as a security measure is we're checking the temperature of the urine sample, and that has to be in a particular range. So how can we be fooled with synthetic urine? Well, it's pretty easy to actually mimic the temperature and the look of a urine sample. So it's pretty easy if you really try to or put in a little bit of effort to fool the collector. But what about the lab? Well, the labs get fooled because the synthetic samples chemically can look very similar to real urine. They can have similar pH, they can have similar specific gravity. So we get this like arms race where the lab develops a new way to catch a fake urine, and then the fake urine companies, I guess, have to make new ways to beat that particular test, and we get this arms race where one is always trying to outdo the other. But again, to answer the question, how do we get fooled so easily? Well, I don't think we get fooled so easily, but we certainly can be fooled because synthetic urine samples are oftentimes pretty sophisticated. I am subject to DOT drug tests. What drugs will I be tested for? So the DOT drug test is a federal drug test. Whenever you are federally drug tested, it will always be a urine test, and it will always contain THC, cocaine, amphetamines, PCP, and opioids. Those are the 5 drugs in the federal drug test, including the DOT drug test. How much does a person have to smoke before the marijuana can be detected in their pee? So basically what they are asking is there a minimum amount that if you only use that much, you will always be able to pass a drug test? It will never be detectable in a urine sample. The assumption should be made that if you use cannabis, if you use THC in any amount, that you are going to test positive on a urinalysis for some period of time. So the question should shift from will I test positive to how long will I test positive? That's a much more appropriate question. And again, factors like your history of use, the potency of the cannabis that you're using, your frequency of use, and body fat percentage all play a role. If you want to be best prepared to pass a drug test, an official drug test for THC specifically, again, I will leave links in the description of this video for our masterclass teaching you all the best ways to be prepared for an upcoming drug test, my preferred home drug test kits that are simple and easy to use. You do it in the privacy of your home and gives you an idea of if you're going to pass an upcoming drug test, and our detox product. Again, all of those links will be in the description of this video. Do the tests just give you a full overview of everything that the person is on? So what they're asking for is, if you have a urine test done or a blood test done, can we detect any drug that you are on at that time? And this is a very common misconception. So when you have a drug test performed, we have to test for that specific drug to know if you are on that drug. Now, certainly there's a big difference between the number of drugs that are included in a 5-panel drug test versus a 12-panel drug test. So we could be including on a particular drug test more and more drugs, but we have to test for that drug specifically. You have the right to know what you are being tested for. There is absolutely nothing wrong with asking, what am I going to be tested for, no matter what the circumstance is. And if it's an employment situation, there are a lot of employers now that still drug test, but they intentionally exclude THC from the drug tests, either because they feel that it's not dangerous or unsafe, or because they're simply nervous that too many people that they are trying to hire wouldn't be able to pass the drug test, but for whatever reason, they are leaving off THC. So if you're in a employment or a hiring situation and you are nervous about testing positive, again, potentially for THC marijuana, just ask, are you going to be tested for THC? It is your right to know. Thanks to all of the members of this channel. If you have any specific drug testing related questions for me, please leave those in the comments of this video. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.